Hello all you lovely internet people, my name is LashofSnow and I hope you're all well. So, today's video. Recently there's been quite an influx of new subs into the channel, and I thought, I see these little, what would you say, they're like random question lists. You always see them on Instagram. I see them on Instagram all the time, but funnily enough this one I seen on Twitter. But it has a list of, I don't know, a handful of questions, and I thought, because there's been an influx of new people, that I would answer some of these. Some might be funny, some you might find out some new things about me. You might be shocked, you might think, well, yeah, it kind of suits. I have done a video like this before, somewhat similar, but that was probably a year or two ago, and a lot has changed since then, so I thought I would do a new one. And if I don't cover anything particular in these questions that you would like to know, please comment below and I will maybe answer them there or do another video. So without any further ado, let's just get asking questions. First one is, who was your last text from? My last text was from my best man Stephen. Who was your last call from? My last call was from Nina this morning. What is your worst habit? It's hard to answer this one without making yourself sound like a dickhead. My worst habit would probably be getting stroppy over stuff that people don't do right, in my eyes maybe. Huffing, because things should be done the way I think they should be done. But then when somebody gives me something to do and I don't do it right, it's like, well, that's the way I wanted to do, but maybe it's not the way you want. What is your favourite TV series you watched? Now that is a very massive, open-ended, deep question. If it's recently, it's hard because even recently I've started a lot of new TV shows. Let's just say it is recently. Let's go for Rick and Morty.
I'm Pickle Rick!
I recently discovered Rick and Morty and completely fell in love with it, which is it's fantastic. And it's quite sad because I breezed through the first 3 seasons like that, and it's almost done. What is the last song you listened to? The last song I listened to was a band called Machine Head, and the song was called Halo. Do you want to get married? Been there, done that. Does talking about sex make you uncomfortable? Naturally, yes, because I'm British, and it's just something you don't really talk about here. I know in other cultures it's like, meh. But being British is like, maybe not talk about that. But recently, not so much. If I'm with a group of friends that I know and I trust, then there's no reason not to talk. But if it's with new people or, like, say, Christ, I don't know, work folks, then no. That's just a subject you forget about. Some of these questions are a bit strange. Would you ever share a bath with someone? Why not? What is your favourite animal? It's going to be biased for me because I have them. Well, I don't have them personally, but my favourite animal would probably be a dog with a guinea pig. Pretty much in joint first, because I have a dog and a guinea pig. Would you ever smoke weed? Yes, if it was legal where I was. What is your favourite way to wear your hair? This. Who was the last person you had a deep conversation with? That would probably have been Nina or Steve, just before the wedding. Well, no. Steve would have been just before the wedding, but Nina quite recently about some other stuff. What are your favourite bands or singers? Massive big list. I mean, I've done a video just on Nordic bands, and that's just one region of the world. That didn't mention British bands, American bands, German bands. Recently, I've been listening to Machine Head, Sabaton, a lot of Skrillex again. I recently joined a gym, so every time I go to the goddamn gym, Skrillex Bangarang is always on, and it's a fantastic song, so it's fine. But it's made me a bit tired of that song. Some others would probably be the likes of Amon Amarth. A lot of Iron Maiden recently too, in gym playlists, and Korn. It's just all put into one thing with the goal of driving me forward in the gym. What is your relationship status? What is your sexuality? Straight. What are your initials including middle names? JAWM. Would you kiss the last person you kissed again? Well, yes, because it is my wife. Who is the most attractive celeb? I think I will play it safe here and give 2 answers, and it would be 2 people that both me and Nina like. On one hand you've got Travis Fimmel, and the other hand you've got Catherine Winnick. There you go. Bit of everything for everybody. Do you or would you ever drink alcohol? I do and I would. What makes you happy? Simple things in life, like, it's going to sound cliche, but just coming home in the evening and Nina being in a good mood or just excited about something makes me happy. Seeing, like, because I grew up in a city, not seeing an awful lot of wildlife, and now I live again in a built up area, but it's a bit more natural. There's a lot of trees and things around, but one thing always makes me smile is if I'm going to work in the morning, I'm driving down the hill and a little squirrel runs across the road, or you see a little squirrel run up a tree. That always makes me smile. What are you like when you're drunk? I'm a happy drunk, unless I get too drunk, then I just become annoying as all holy hell. Would you rather live without music or TV? You can get away with this by saying that you can get music on TV in the form of music videos, but it is a tricky one. I know a lot of people would give up TV for music, but one of the little things that makes me happy is coming home in the evening, getting everything sorted, getting dinner, and then just sitting down to watch something random with Nina. So I would probably give up music, and it's a tough one. Do you like when people play with your hair? 100%. What traits do you find attractive in someone? Well, they have to laugh at my jokes. No, that's all. They have to have a good sense of humour. I mean, there's nothing worse than somebody who's just cold and when you tell them a joke they're like. Also, someone that would look after themselves. Now, by looking at me, you wouldn't think I look after myself, but I do make an attempt. Trying not to sound like a dick, but would you kiss someone of the opposite gender? Yes, and I have. Do you feel awkward during silences when you're with someone? Yes, again, because that's a very British trait to show that if you're in a car or in like the vicinity of someone and nobody's kind of saying anything, your head is constantly thinking, fuck, I should say something. And I notice a lot of people around me would have to say something, but because I'm married to Finns don't have that. They don't have the need to have small talk. So I think I've kind of learnt a little bit, and say if there's only me and somebody else in work, I'll not feel the need to say something. Well, they might, but each their own. How long did your longest relationship last? This one, and it's still going. Would you ever become a vegetarian? My easiest answer would be yes. It has been playing on my mind quite a lot recently. Mainly because at home I live a predominantly vegan lifestyle in respect of Nina. I don't bring meat into the house unless it's like takeaway food or something, and that's okay. She's fine with that. But when we do shopping and things, I eat pretty much everything that she would eat. You know, we would have vegan chili, we would have spaghetti and meatballs, and we would use like vegan sausages and things, which are awesome. But out of respect for her, I wouldn't eat like a lot of meat at home, which is fine. But I have seriously been considering going vegetarian, and I am kind of slowly getting there by myself. I don't eat lamb anymore, I don't eat beef at all. I haven't had beef in probably almost a year now, so that's a positive. And my milk consumption is way down, cheese way down, yogurts, I predominantly eat vegan yogurts now too, so I see sometime in the near future possibly. Do you think aliens exist? Well, they have to somewhere. I mean, if you realise the sheer size of the cosmos and the fact that we're like this big, there has to be other life. We can't be the only thing that has ever existed. I mean, if we have evolved out of, you know, seed drilling bacteria and things like that, then that has to have happened somewhere else. Also, if you follow Rick and Morty, then there's a parallel universe including everything. Interdimensional cable for the win. Favorite school subject? It was either I never liked English, I never liked maths, always liked geography. It's because I'm a nerd though, and I like maps and land and rivers conveniently. But yeah, I'm going to say geography. Do you have a lot of friends? The simple answer to that would be no. I keep my kind of group small. I don't see the need in having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of friends, because you'll never get to kind of do things with all of them at once, or not at once, but you know, by the time you get to friend 38, friend 1 wants you again, by the time you get to friend 64, friend 38 once. That's a weird way of looking at it, but no, I keep my circle pretty small, because then we're all very trusting of each other and we all know what makes each other work, and you know, it just works when it's smaller. Where in the world would you like to visit? Japan, probably, with America being a close second, purely for the reason of just visiting there to see how different everything is. But the main place I would like to visit would be Japan. Reasoning: Japan is so kind of cool, quirky and futuristic in a way. I mean, I would like to walk down the street and see vending machines for pretty much everything. I like that aspect. That to me is kind of cool. It's a very kind of technology focused city, and it just looks like a really cool place to be. What is your favourite season? Hands down, if it was a bit more stereotypical, winter. But winter where I live means dark nights, wet, rainy, wind. It's not really winter in a sense of snow, ice, you know, like normal winter should be. Would you ever have kids? I don't see why not. Twitter or Facebook? This one changed. It was Twitter at the beginning. When Twitter came around, I fucking loved Twitter. It was awesome. Then slowly I kind of grew out of it and moved in more to Facebook, because Facebook has a lot more people that you would know. But recently I've started to favour Twitter a bit more. Twitter is better in my view for news and things that are kind of happening now, because it's so automatic, while currently Facebook is a fucking mess with feeds and not being in chronological order and ads being shoved in your face, and oh, here, have you seen this from 4 weeks ago that somebody liked? It's like, well, no, I don't give a shit, I want to see what's happening now. Twitter. Do you still speak to your first crush? I don't know who it even was. Can't remember. Finally, do you believe in luck and miracles? It's hard to say yes to this question, because I would be more favoured on the scientific side of things. I like things to be proven, and you know, oh, this happened. What? No, it didn't happen. Well, here's the proof that it happened. But I suppose luck has some kind of inkling in something. You can get lucky just on the basis of what it actually means. If you flip a coin 5 times, you might get lucky and say, hey, it's 4 times, but again, that could just be a coincidence that you have said and it's happened. Again, science behind that would say that eventually that would happen, but see, I'm getting jumbled up in my own goddamn mind. So there we have it. There are some questions and some odd answers from me. I hope you've liked this video. As I said earlier, if you have a question for me that wasn't in this list or in my previous video, please think it below and I will endeavour to answer it in the comments or like messages, or possibly if there's enough I will do an actual like Q&A video. So I want to welcome you all the new people. We climbed like 20 subs in the last week or so, which is massive. We're now very, very close to 400, which is immense. It's like 400 people nearly are deciding to watch me every week, and that's awesome, so thank you for that. But until next week, my friends, I will see you then. I hope you have a good week, and from me and from Delilah here, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.